Hola. We are just working on a couple things. We don't have marching orders yet for the next couple days, so we will work on a couple things that have been plaguing me the last little bit. Something simple though. See this gear shifter? Spinning. I don't know if you can see that or not. Spinning here on my extension I got here. So then you go to switch gear and it's spinning in your hand, and you just don't like that. It doesn't feel good. As you can see, it's all hodgepodged on and holding together and stuff. So what I'm gonna do is pull this apart, pull this off, lock tight the threads in here, and then tighten her all up again. Simple. Let's get after it. Alright, first things first, we're going to take off that sucker there. Like I said, I used to have a huge, tall, gotta watch how I say this stuff for some of the crowd out there. Anyway, my shifter used to be huge. I used to have a tall shifter because it was cool. It was in my Kenworth W9 especially. I think these come in like 24 inch, 18, 12. So I think I had the 2-footer on here. And I drove it like that for a year, and then I had a driver on the truck. He drove it like that for 2 years, and one day I said to him, I said, "Hey, so you still like that shifter?" Because I was pretty curious. He goes, "Actually, no, I don't." I said, "What? Well, you just got to say something." He says, "Well, it's your truck. I didn't want to tell, I didn't want to change nothing." I said, "No, man, it's your truck now. You've been driving it." So, yeah, we put a smaller one on there, and he was happy, so that was good. Holy cow, who put this on? He definitely didn't want it coming off, did he? That guy. Well, once I got all that monstrosity off, now I can disconnect the air lines, because I'm going to take the whole stock off here. So see if we can leave these brass ones down here. No, it's not going to be nice. They're not going to be easy. There we go. Just remember how they go. So we're going to go black, blue, and red. Blue is the middle. Black and red are on the ends. Remember that. There we go. Cool the guy off. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Woo! Hot stuff in there today. You see this whole thing just spins on there. I put some tape here because these would be rattling against. You gotta put some extensions on here. And these brass ones are rubbing on here, so just put some tape on here to give it some cushion against the steel on steel. No truck driver likes the little squeaks or the little clangs and rattles. So do it. Everybody does this differently, but this is how I do it. I get the channel locks on there. Get the metric wrench. You just gotta crack them apart. There we go. Just a little jam nut here. You can take this right off. Just like that. That's the shifter. Splitter. And this is the extension. Little jam nut here. That's how you hold that other piece on. this is the extension. Just a little 6-incher. Some of the girls say that's all you need, right? So, alright. And then down here is where the normal shifter would be. It would be down here, right? When you get them from factory. Well, that's too low. So I'm just going to throw some thread lock on this stuff, Loctite. It's the red stuff, but you might as well call it gold because it costs so much money. Medium strength, I didn't even read it. Look at this now. Okay, anybody that knows thread Loctite, red bottle, right? But look at the label, blue. I didn't even notice that. I was going for the red stuff, but this is the blue stuff, medium. I was looking for the red stuff. Well, that's kind of improper marketing, don't you think? If it's blue, why don't you have a blue bottle? Oh well. Whoa! Way too much. I'll just thread this bad boy back on there. Looks like that. Nice and tight. And we'll grab something to put a good torque on her. Nice little towel or something so you don't totally scratch it up. It's going to get scratched anyway. Hey, remember, grunting. Grunting always works. Grunting always works. We'll put this back on for now. So now, we want it to be like this, right? Straight. So I gotta spin this jam nut up to jam into the bottom. So that it's straight like that. And that's why you got this jam nut. And then you gotta really jam them together. Now I don't want to Loctite this because you usually gotta replace this more often than your extensions, so get the metric wrench. And just jam them together. Just like that. Let's see, and then you just give her a feel. That's a little too much. A little too much. Give her some feeling. Oh yeah, that'll work good. And then you just do up your lines again. Remember the order? Yeah, me neither. Totally forgot. For now, you know, just to cover up all this, it just kind of looks a little hanky, right? Until I can figure out what I want to do with it. We're just gonna, we got an old Alberta flag that we had hanging up in the garage because it got torn from being on top of the garage. So we're just gonna wrap this whole thing with this. Why not? See how it looks. Give it a try anyway, right? And just like that. It'll work. Good enough. Looks better than it was. I got her tucked into the boot. Yeah, that's good. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be you, right? Even in company trucks. If you guys want to do something, it doesn't have to look fancy. It doesn't have to be a show truck. You just do whatever you feel comfortable doing. Right? Yeah. Good enough. Made good with a wrecked flag. Good enough. Time to vacuum. G'day, back at her. Sat for a couple days. She's pretty slow, and that's okay. You know, it's before the long weekend. It's always a little slow before the long weekend. So, long weekend up here in Canada anyway. Labor Day. Loading some pipe, as you saw, or as you see, or something, I don't know. And that's what we're firing up with. Just a little quick little jaunt. Just a quick little jaunt. I don't know what I did there, but that's what we're doing. Here's what it looks like. Bundled pipe. Nothing easy. Well, plate is easy. This stuff's pretty easy, nothing major. Show you what I got here. These are the flip down brackets or flip down braces I bought to do some flip down sides when I was going to the US. I was working on a flip down side kit, and they work pretty good for tall pipe pins. Now we just put chains on them so that they don't, it's chained to the other side so it doesn't rip out our pin pockets on the aluminum trailers. Also, I put some orange Reflectix on there. I don't know. I was in a mood. I was in a zone. We'll see what happens. I think it looks alright. I think it looks okay. I don't do much for bling or fancy stuff, but it's a start, I guess. It's a start. Let's come on this side. See all that pipe? Easy stuff. Easy stuff. Well, let's get going. I don't know how much busier it's going to be where I'm going, but no sense sitting here. Fancy. Looks like a big Gatling gun or something. All right, hard at her. I see you. I see you under there, staying cool. There you are. How you doing, Maggie? There's a Maggie, staying nice and cool. It's a warm one. Everywhere's warm. Here's what we got. We're back at the house. Loaded this up for next week. It's a long weekend, so no sense heading out there and trying to get unloaded and trying to get a reload. We'll just take a couple days off for the long weekend and start again next week. Start September off good. Know what I mean? Oh, snotty. Got one of them summer colds. The old nose glue just comes streaming out of the nostrils there. And they suck because it's hot and you're sick and it's terrible and blah blah blah. Everybody have a great long weekend. We'll see what happens next week. We're gonna attack. Here, the motorcycle's way over there. Might have to get me one of them. Might have to get me one of them. We'll attack September with a vengeance and do some catching up and get some revenue flying through this place. We got some big expenses coming up with tires, more tires, and maybe a tire. So yeah, the work we need to do. But here at the Ponderosa, we got work to do as well. Cutting grass, watering trees, stuff. Take care. Thanks for watching. Have a good long weekend. Bye for now. What possesses a man to wander the earth, cleaning dog poop everywhere he goes? The passion this particular man displays for his craft is unmatched in the world of feces removal. This is a small little insight into how he attacks his passion with unmatched enthusiasm. Here is his small story. You know, I do it because it's the thrill of the hunt. I think I have a sixth sense where I know where the poop piles are. And it fills my soul when I'm able to find a good pyramid of poop, scoop it up and put it in the garbage can. It just makes my day. You know, when you find a passion in life, you won't even work a day in your life. Think about that. Think about that. That's what I do for a living. Part-time. Well, maybe a quarter of the time. And I get paid by the pound, which is okay. So I work my butt off trying to get that. But I think a poop-free world is a nice world. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So I'll keep doing it. As long as they keep pooping, I'll keep cleaning it up. I'm almost like a superhero. You know what I mean? I gotta go. I got more yards to do. Yep, thanks. Oh. No hurrahs, no accolades. Making the world a better place. One stinky pile at a time.